storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.
So Miss Abira Greene from Little Women, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Listen. You are one of the standout personalities from Little Women Atlanta.
Section 8, bitch.
Listen, no, bitch, I don't get Section 8 hoe, but your mama
Bitch,
do.
shut the up.
Are you intimidated by me?
Rap artist, hip hop artist to be exact. You don't hide from your past of being an exotic dancer. That's what I loved about you. You came on the screen and you was like, no, I shake ass. I'm not going to
Period. Period. Abira.
Amanda, nice to meet you. So what do you do?
Oh my gosh, what do? I shake ass.
You shake ass?
Yes. For money. That's what I do. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it and say twerk or nothing. This good money pays my bills. Isn't that what y'all do too?
Well, we used to do that, but
So today I want people to learn a little bit more about you. So tell us, where are you from? I was reading you were from Florida, but Google ain't always right, so I want to make sure.
Yeah, I'm from Tampa, Florida originally, born and raised. I didn't move out to Atlanta till like right before the pandemic. So I am living in Atlanta now, but I'm born and raised Tampa, Florida. And yeah, I came out for my career. I have been to Atlanta over the last 12 years, just like throughout my career of dancing and things like that, because we know Atlanta's like the mecca of strippers. So
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah. So then finally, just with the show, I was like, you know what? Let me just make this permanent move for my career and for what's better for my children and my family. And I'm here.
So let me ask you, because I ask everybody that moves here, you like Atlanta better than Tampa, or I know there's so many opportunities here, so it's kind of hard to compare, but
right. So as far as my home life, I love Tampa more as a home life, like just kicking it with friends and family. But for my career, Atlanta is where I will be.
Yeah, this is just a black Mecca. You just can't get away from it.
Right.
You can't. So I want to go back a little bit. You were a stripper and your name was Fire. Now, you know I got to ask you how you got that nickname.
Oh, well, I made that nickname up myself. And I just felt like my personality, my body, like everything about me was fire. Like, it was like I surprised people every time I stepped in a room. Like, you know, because automatically they see you as a little person. So you already got their attention, but are you going to wow them? And I just had that factor of wowing people every time I went in a room. So I'm like, okay, fire. I'm fire. I'm lit. So yeah, that's how it came about.
Damn. Okay. And then how long did you do that for? About a decade?
I was dancing for about 10 to 11 years.
Okay. I got to ask you this. How much do y'all make? Because I be wondering, like, because them niggas be throwing dollars. So I be wondering, like, how much do they actually like?
Well, I mean, for like in-house dancers that just go there, they normally have to pay the club. But since I was like a showgirl, the club pays me, and whatever I get tipped is my, extra. So I get a lot of girls do, not just myself, but in my instance, during my career, I would get paid for the booking first, and then whatever I made on stage is just basically like a tip.
Damn, that's what's up. So you are literally a bona fide hustler. You gonna book gigs, you gonna do what you gotta do to feed your kids.
Yes.
So growing up with achondroplasia, did I say that right?
Achondroplasia.
Achondroplasia. Can I ask you, did that run in your family? Do you know where that came from?
So,
which side, rather?
It does not run in my family. However, I'll give you a little bit of education on achondroplasia and dwarfism, period. So any human, you and your lady, if you're both average height, you guys can have a child with dwarfism. You have a 50% chance of having a child with dwarfism. Dwarfism is a genetic mutation that comes from the male. Okay. And so this is why I have 4 children, the male, which is the X chromosome. Yes. And I didn't find that out to having my 3rd child, which also has achondroplasia. And her father has 2 family members, 2 second cousins who have achondroplasia, if that makes sense. And so then we had a second child, which is my youngest, who's 5 years old, but he's also what you guys would consider average. But they have the same mother and father, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with having which there's achondroplasia is the most popular form of dwarfism, but there's several forms of dwarfism under the umbrella of dwarfism. But achondroplasia is one, and we call it achon for short, just because people can't say achondroplasia. So achon for short is one of the most popular dwarfisms to have, which yay, we're popular. However, what it does is, you know, it puts us in the realm of, are we average? Are we normal? Or, you know, are we these fictitious characters, these majestic mystery people, you know, things like how people kind of do it, like maybe like a fairy or org, stuff like that. So,
because when I see you in comparison to the other ladies on the cast, I feel like you're one of the taller ones.
and to be honest, I'm not.
Oh shoot! Okay.
I'm just, and see, that brings me to my favorite saying, which is also my business. Are you as tall as me? Because at the end of the day, you know, a package, we all came in different types of packaging, but our personalities, everyone has different personalities. And let's just be honest, you might have a tall person in the room, but if a person comes in that has this booming personality and they're big as Tiny Tim, you're gonna notice Tiny Tim, honey.
You can't help but to notice them. I mean, I'm short myself, and even when I walk in a room, I still get attention, and I don't even be trying. It's just
right.
It's your energy that brings them in. When you come on camera, you can even see all the ladies just look, and I'm like, damn, is y'all intimidated? She just
literally. I'm so glad you said that, because I say that I like literally walking around, be like, hey, everybody, it'll just be like a funeral. I'm like, wait, what's going on?
They look at you like, I'm like, damn. Like, fix your face. She just walked in. It's okay.
That's it. I'm just here to work. That's it.
Oh my God. I'm glad you talked about that, because you have so much confidence. You own who you are, and I know that you are also working on a couple books as well, right? About dwarfism, and really, I don't want to say normalizing it, because dwarfism has been around since forever.
It's not normalized, though. It's not normalized.
Okay.
So
Explain it.
Let me give you an example of that, right?
Okay.
So, you know, as far as like, say we go out, we in public, you know, everybody love us. Oh my God, from Little Women, da 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 da. All right. And then there's a moment where when you go home or you're riding home with your friends and you're recapping the night, like, oh girl, we had a good time. It was lit. You know what I'm saying? In that moment, when you describe us, are you calling us by our name? Or are you saying little person? Or are you saying midget? Are you calling us by, are you saying Abira was lit? Or are you saying that one little lady from Little Women is lit? You get what I'm saying? So it kind of makes us, we don't get personalized. That's just one way of forming dwarfism. Another way, which is in a political, because I'm actually working with a lot of Georgia state representatives right now, is that, you know, when you go in the courthouse and you go to court, there's a podium there, and normally the judge wants you to show them the utmost respect, and they deserve that. So they want you at that podium standing like a soldier, you know, blase squaze. Well, if you have dwarfism, it's going to be apparent that the podium is way taller than you. So that's going to make you feel uncomfortable to try to stand right in front of a podium that now the judge can't see you. But then if you step to the side in order to speak to the judge, he may feel disrespected. And now the lawyer has to explain, hey, she's a little person, whoop-de-whoop. So now you're put on the spot. Now you feel like there's a micro light on you just because they have to explain who you are. But if it was normalized, there wouldn't need to be an intro. There would not need to be an explanation, because there will be a podium for us.
Got accommodations, just like with someone, let's say if they're in a wheelchair, the same kind of accommodations where they have the level floor, because obviously they can't go up the steps. So that makes, you know what? I never even thought about that. But I guess, I mean, of course, I haven't lived that life, so I wouldn't think about that.
And you're not normalized. So this is where I'm here to normalize you, because you're thinking about dwarfism just on a look. I'm looking at you and you look normal. You look normal to me. You look regular to me. But the fact of the matter, if something was to happen and you had to have a conversation without a little person there, you wouldn't see them as normal. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying we need to change that, because it is bad. For some people, they think we're creatures. They think we're animals or these monsters or a fairy tale, you know, and we're not. We're very capable. And just to speak on what you said, the analogy on the wheelchair, that's another thing. So yeah, we want to be accommodated, but we don't need a wheelchair because in all actuality, and shout out to everyone in the wheelchairs because you guys are beautiful as well, but they have an actual disability. You understand?
Yeah, so your condition is not considered a disability.
It's in the world, it is considered a disability, but why?
That's a good point. Why? That is a good point.
Why? I mean,
You schooling me live here as we're talking. I'm like, I've always been taught that it was, but why? When you can actually do everything I can do.
I'm talking about I do everything you do. If I might can do it better. I have babies regular. I have sex regular. I fight. My emotional.
Can we talk about that too? Because the people want to know. First off, have you you're still in a relationship and his name is escaping me. It starts with a B.
Bumpman.
Bumpman. Yeah. So you guys still together?
We're dating. I'm not committed to anyone but the game, baby.
Bam. Okay. So let me ask you this: have you ever had sex with a average size man?
Oh, my children's fathers are average size.
Oh, see, that's not on the internet. See, that's the stuff we want to know. Okay, so
yeah, 6 feet or better for me.
Yeah. But then speaking of normalized, did you ever feel fetishized versus like, like genuine attraction? Did you ever feel like, okay, are you treating me like a fetish or do you actually fuck with me?
Okay, so as far as my relationships and I had children with, no. But there are many guys that's fetishized. You can know though, like one of the first things they say is like, oh my God, I've always wanted to be with one. And I'm like, one what?
Right.
And so that lets you know he has a fetish or a fantasy. Or some like guys be like, oh, I want to put you on the shelf or put you in my pocket. Okay, I'm not a novelty. So that's fetish fantasy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can always tell. Some guys just say straight out, look, you on my bucket list.
Period.
So,
damn.
And then they just get blocked, because that's not what I want. That's not what I'm looking for. Those are more for girls that have things up for sale. And baby, I'm priceless. So ain't nothing for sale over here. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much how it is. But I'll tell you, like I tell everybody else, we all the same size when we lay down. I promise you, I'll be 6 feet when I lay down.
We really are. I be trying to tell people too, because they be like, you ain't number 5'6". Listen. When you laying down, it don't matter.
Everything aligns normally, okay?
It does. I promise you it does. They so worried about my feet touching the end of the bed. Listen, that don't matter.
Listen, the feet is not what's happening right now.
Exactly. So you have 4 kids, even in like giving childbirth and stuff. I know you said like you had, so we can have babies too, but were there any complications? Are there extra risks? Like I'm just curious.
You know what? Each pregnancy was different. I definitely had some risks in some of the pregnancies, but it wasn't due to my dwarfism. It was due to just my eating habits, not sitting still, things like that, my blood pressure, but not because of having dwarfism. I mean, I did get cesareans. I didn't have them naturally. Okay. So I was cut 4 times. But they're pretty spaced apart. So I was able to heal. Like all my kids are at least 3 or 4 years apart from each other. So. And
I love your kids' names, by the way. I saw that too. I was like, they got some bomb names. Just side note.
Thank you. Yeah, no, they got to make an impact in this world as well, So they're my legacy. So yeah, but no, people always think like we have some weird childbirth, like, I don't know. It's just, again, this is what started my whole campaign with normalized dwarfism because I'm over it. And I have a daughter that has dwarfism. And when she gets my age, I don't want her to have to explain. Like, it should be already a given. Like, okay, there's a normal lady. There's a, not a little lady because even like, okay, so I get into it with people a lot because they also call children little people.
Oh, yes, they sure do.
So this is why I don't want to be called a little person either, because then, it's more common to be called little person to a child, and I'm not a child. So then when someone's saying little person, I might get offended, and they might have been talking about child.
Oh.
So just call me Abira or even Lil Vicious. We can do V. You know,
Right,
any
you
one
got
of my
a rap name, like just
we can do it.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm also boycotting the little people thing. I know, because if you look, Fisher Price has these little people toys. Stop.
And I've never thought about that, because even when we do talk to kids, you might say little man, little lady. Wow.
You see how I'm normalizing you without even trying?
You know what? And I like the way you're explaining it. Like, it's nothing for me to even be defensive about. It's like, wow, yeah, I've never thought about that.
And I don't want to be offensive. You know why? Because I want people I know, and I've always said this, like, if you don't know about something, of course your natural reaction is going to be to either be one, scared, shocked, surprised. You know what I mean? So why would I get mad? Like, okay, so the first time I see a person, they're pointing and laughing, I don't get mad. I try to educate you first.
Yes.
And then once I educate you, if you still want to be ignorant, then I get offended. But if you're not educated, how am I going to get offended when someone don't even know what they're talking about? You don't even know. And then once I tell you, just like you're doing right now, they're like, oh my God, you right. Oh my God. Like, I had one girl like talk about me, and I'm like, girl, you married. Don't you know your man want to fantasize with
me? Facts. Why you thinking I ain't shit? Your man looking at me. Facts.
Like, sis, relax, because you better be lucky I'm not that girl. So that's you know, all up in that. So yes, the normalized book will be about the dwarfism books will definitely touch on so many bases when it comes to normalizing dwarfism, because it's time that everyone, you know, and it's a bittersweet thing because we've not had our civil rights movement yet. You know, we've had LGBT, they've had their civil rights movement, BLM, but people with dwarfism have not, and I just want to be the leader of that, or not even just the leader, a part of that, and leading our people to justice and to having that equality that we deserve.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. To literally tell the world we're human too. Like, I don't know if y'all forgot, but we're human. Because whether people want to realize that once upon a time, people felt that Black people were these mystical creatures that were not human as well. So fighting a good fight. But speaking of that, what made you want to do Little Women Atlanta, the actual show?
So what made me want to do Little Women Atlanta was basically about educating people. And, you know, so I already had a name before even any of the Little Women franchise came out. I already would have been on music videos. Plies wanted to do a reality show on me. I'm the original first Goonette. Like, you know what I mean? So, and I'm talking about not just Atlanta. Any Little Women franchise came out, I already had a name. And so when I seen that it came out, they called me like 2 or 3 times before they even let me on. But when they finally let me on, I told them off rip, I'm coming to educate.
Nice.
Now, I did kick some ass in between.
You did. You came on and you was not playing. And I'm gonna ask you about that too. Before I ask you that, let me ask you: do you think the show? Okay, because some people feel like the show more made fun of you guys than it did educate people about dwarfism and how and normalizing you guys' life. So, do you feel it kind of more made fun of you, or do you how do you feel about that?
I think before I came, it was like that.
Okay.
And I think I'm changing the narrative. I also I feel like I put us in a different genre. Like, you know, like people was watching Little Women Atlanta, but it wasn't so on the hip hop and you know, dancer, rapper vibe. It wasn't like that whole entertainment vibe. You know, that's a whole different type of entertainment. You have actors and actresses, and then you have the rappers and the dancers. I think I really opened up the doors to put us in that to help be normalized, is because, you know, now you got people that's like, okay, well, Jesus, okay, I do want to have sex with a little person, but she got a nice personality. She a boss. Like, I don't know, I'm starting to like her a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it kind of just opens up the door to not just look at us, you know, as in a sexual manner.
I like that. Okay. All right. Because I always wonder how you guys really felt about that. So is the show real? Are the confrontations real? Are the fights real? Like, we want to know.
Anything with me is real. I don't know nothing about nobody else. I know if a bitch got a problem with me, excuse me, if somebody got a problem with me, it's real. We going, it's go time for me. And this is probably why everybody looks crazy when I walk in the room, because they already know if they get me twisted, I'm not going to wait until later. We're gonna handle this right now.
Okay, so you're not gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna pause on that, and we're gonna have another argument in another scene. You like, nah, talk that shit you was talking now.
Now, right now.
Gotcha. So do you still have beef with the tiny twins?
They got beef with me, baby. And I just be going along with it. Like,
okay.
The thing with them is they are, and they always say this. So you know how people can talk and say, oh, women empowerment and blase squaze, but then in real life, it's not that way. So they give me that very much. Because like I tell them all the time, you guys watched me. That's what gave y'all the confidence to come out. So don't ever forget that. And then what they tried to do as well when I first came is act like they wasn't strippers.
I saw that because they were like, yeah, like we dance, but we're past that.
You all shake ass for money.
I remember seeing a video of them shaking ass, literally.
For money.
So I don't know why they tried to act. I think it's because you were so confident in what you said. Because like you talk to some ex-strippers and they're like, I was an exotic dancer. I was this, I was that. You said straight up, I shook ass.
For money.
Period. And they just felt some kind of way about it. And I'm like,
and then I turned around and said, look, hey, that's what y'all do too.
We all know. They try to play us like we don't have eyes and a memory. I'm like, yo, I literally remember this vividly. Okay. So yeah, so basically you saying they got beef with you. You ain't tripping off them like that.
For what? Listen, baby, Storm, I'm bossed up. I'm out here with the mayor and the state representatives. Those girls at home in a closet somewhere, scared and crying. What is it that I'm jealous of? What is it that I had to hate them? If anything, baby, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to build your confidence because this is what I do. I build people up. I don't tear people down. Now, if we're arguing, then okay, we arguing. I'm going to talk about you. I'm going to talk about your fingers and your head. And because that's what people do. That's what normal people do.
People do. Yep.
It don't have nothing to do with me like as if I'm bad talking another little person. No, girl, we arguing. So I'm talking about you. But yeah, it's just, I think it's the confidence. They literally are intimidated when I walk in the room because I march to my own beat. I don't need validation from anyone, male or female, production or not. This boat is going to ride the wave no matter what.
I love that. I love that. I love people that carry themselves like that. You like, no matter what, this is a job. I'm here to do my job and go about my business. So let me ask you, how has your family, your children, how have they handled the fame that you have now? Well, you already had it. You already had it, but TV is a little different than
TV. Yes, TV is much different. Much different because it's a bigger scope.
Yes.
And so I'll say this: the two oldest are not really fond of it.
Okay.
They like their private life because we come from the country, so we used to being country. And so being in the city, they have to do stuff, and be all like, keep up basically appearances. So normally we can have our little puff ponytail, go to the supermarket. But, now that we're somebody, I'm like, nah, put some gel on, I don't want nobody to say y'all look some type of way. They're not going to get it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So the two oldest ones not really with it. The two youngest ones, Phoebe, who's my mini-me, she wants to be just like me. I'll be her momager. She's up in next. So make sure y'all know, pretty like Fee. She wants to be exactly like me, and her baby brother's right behind her. So I'm sure those two will be in entertainment somehow, some way. And my two oldest will do their own thing.
Okay. And look, there's nothing wrong with that. I just always wonder how like kids handle when their parents are on TV and then like let's say you cussing somebody out and now the kid's talking about it at school and you like, what? That happened 6 months ago. I didn't forgot now. So yeah, that's wow. So the two oldest, they kind of over it, and the two youngest is with it.
Yep, okay. The two oldest over it. They don't like the cameras all in their face all the time. They're not. It's not for them.
Yeah, and
I'm
when
cool
they're like,
because this is not their career, so I'm cool with it. I tell them all the time, I want y'all to do what's best for y'all, because I'm gonna do what's best for us.
Yes, absolutely. And you hustle for them too. You hustle hard.
Absolutely, the game don't stop, baby.
So tell me about your relationship with Plies.
So speaking on the little people thing, so he made a video about Wawa a while back, and he said something about it was so if he lying that little people is not children, and that really offended me because he calls me sis, I call him bro. We've known each other for over 12 years. And so I've erased it now, but I made a whole YouTube video of just asking him, you know, that he didn't think sensitive wise when he said what he said, because when you say little people, everybody's not going to think children, because I'm a little people. You guys see me as a little people. So I don't automatically think children. I automatically thought he was saying dwarfs. You know what I mean? So I'm like, wait, bro, like, if this how you felt, like, why you been around me so long? And so, you know, we've definitely had our differences. We're not on talking terms right now. And it's for a lot of reasons. However, I got much love and respect for him. There's no bad blood with me, and I don't think it's any on his end. It's just we're in two different professional standpoints in our life right now.
And you know what? And that's okay. Sometimes stuff just, it just don't work out, and that's okay.
Yeah.
So now, going forward, you said you want to normalize dwarfism, books coming out. What else do you have going on? New projects?
I have the book coming out, in which you're first to know. No one knows this. So that was an exclusive for you.
Thank you.
I'll be doing a music video. Like, I'm doing my music. I'm actually trying to stir my music also into the direction of normalized dwarfism. I know I started off as like a hardcore rapper, which that's also my personality. But I want to make my music more educational now. I want it to be more of a Lauryn Hill, Nas, Tupac kind of thing. Where it's still giving my personality, but it's also speaking some real stuff, some educational stuff, Brenda's had a baby type vibe, you know what I mean? So yeah, so that's where I'm trying to gear with my music. So I'm actually working on a new album, which will be Are You As Tall As Me Part 2, because I do have a mixtape that's already out called Are You As Tall As Me, streaming on all platforms. My first track off of the new album is Don't Give Up, which is also streaming on all platforms right now. And then, so we're working on a video for that, which we should be done with that in the next 3 weeks, hopefully, if I don't go out of town again. Yeah. So I'll be going to the bag and looking car. I'll be like, wait, we got to put that on hold. I'll be back. So yeah, that's the plan. Within 21 days, we have this video shot, so that when we do return in the fall, because we don't have a date of where we're returning, we just know that it's supposed to be in the fall. And I'll be releasing a video hopefully with that.
That's smart. And you attack it just back to back to back. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. I love that. I wish there was some way you can incorporate your music more on the show as well.
So the thing about that is that you don't want to put it too much on the show, because then they try to take ownership.
Oh, okay.
So Quiet as Kept, all those girls that did music videos on the show and all that, the show is getting paid off that. They're not making that money.
Wait a minute.
And that's a no for me, boo.
Wait a minute. It's bad enough they really already don't pay y'all what they supposed to be paying y'all for real.
Listen, Storm, don't start me on that now.
I'm just... Because I looked up what some of the people making. I'm like, wait a minute. The network is making this. Why are you paying these people like they... Okay, I'm going to leave that alone. But, let's say this. Can you just tell the people it's not all what they think it is just because it's TV?
No, most of anything, though. Everything that glitter ain't gold. We know that. We've been taught that from grandma. You know what I'm saying? So, and everything has a pro and a con. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like light and day. Everything has its light side and its dark side with any job. You might get high pay, but then it's a lot of drama at the job. You know what I mean? You might get low pay, but then you got a lot of benefits at the job. So with this job, as far as being on TV, it is not everything that you see. Like, once it's being portrayed through that magnifying glass, it looks great. But there was a lot of sweat, blood, tears, fears, and things that those people, everyone went through to get that out to you guys. So definitely appreciate TV for sure.
For sure. Hard work for sure. Like, you on set all day. You gotta juggle your family life. You still got other projects. Okay, yeah, you didn't got your check or whatever. You still gotta put away money for your agent or manager, Uncle Sam. It's like...
And then you still have, the production trying to start stuff, trying to get you to get in where you fit in, all kind of things that goes on. So emotionally, it's a roller coaster that we have to go through. So tops off to even you, Storm, what you go through. I'm sure like behind the scenes, getting things ready for yourself. You might have doors open, then they close all of a sudden, or they close and then they open. It's a roller coaster. It's up and down all around. It's a roller coaster for sure.
It is. It is. This whole entertainment business, I'll say, I mean, I'm just like scratching the surface, but
right.
It's so many weird people.
You hit.
Yeah, I know, right? When you hit, you hit. When you hit, you hit. But I'm telling you, the snakes, the amount of snakes that's out there, you be like, damn.
You definitely get bit a lot of times.
Yeah.
You don't die though. You don't die unless you're weak.
Exactly.
But you definitely get a lot of bites. You have bites on, but when you hit, you can go ahead and get some Botox, some new skin to cover those bites right on up, honey.
And so let me ask you, do you have a dream collab that you person you want to do like music with? That's just like, if I can get a feature, if I could work with, do you have a dream producer maybe?
Oh man, I have so many dream producers and collabs, to be honest. Like I have so many, like there's not just one, because music has been my life. Like I call myself the jukebox. I just know literally almost every song. I wouldn't say the newer music though. Because I'm a 80s baby, 90s raised me, so I'm still stuck in the 80s and the 90s music, where music was really music.
Yeah, it was the best. It is not the same now. It's just not.
When people really spoke about something and we can understand what they were saying and can really relate. So I personally still listen to that music. And so for me, like big people like Trina, you know, with Trina being from Miami and I'm from Tampa, I would love to get on a track with her. You know, even Cardi B, like Foxy, Remy Ma. Like, look, you couldn't tell me nothing about Lil' Kim and Remy Ma when I was younger. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh. Like, so those women's Eve, like, you know, those women are women that really helped me. Mia X, actually, like those women that help me through a lot of hard times of being bullied and not feeling confident. And I would look at their videos or listen to their music and I'm like, shit, they got a lot of adversity against them and they doing it.
Absolutely.
Because during those times, you know, women wasn't supposed to be all, you know, rapping and doing what they considered a man's thing. You know what I mean? So
and people used to talk so much stuff back then. All she grabbing her crotch like a man. She squatting like a man. She talking too tough. She talking sexual.
Right.
As if women don't have sexuality. That part still baffles me too. It's like, okay. Right. So yeah, no, you're right. They were trendsetters.
And those are people that I would love to actually work with and do things with. Just because like that's what I grew up on. That's who I looked up to. I mean, I don't mind the new artists as well, but I feel like for me, so if you're talking about a dream collaboration that will just awe me, would definitely be one of those ladies. Okay, so all of my social media platforms is I am only Abira. That's Twitter, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Facebook is Abira Greene. And then I also have Bigo, and it's Love V Forever. So LOVEV, the number 4 EVER, which I do talent shows and confident talks. Talent shows and confident talks on my Bigo, just to help people. Like I say, I'm all about building people up, because it is hard. It takes a lot of courage to be in the industry. It takes a lot of courage to walk out your door. Lil Vicious is not Abira, it's Lil Vicious or Lil V. It's streaming on all platforms. Any platform, YouTube Music, YouTube, any platform you can find all my music. Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere. It is literally on every platform.
That is what's up. I will say, Abira, it has been a pleasure speaking with you. This was fun. Thank you for being on time. Thank you for having a good connection. No, I'm kidding, but for real. Like, oh my. And some people get on here and I be like, did you pay your phone bill? Like, come on.
Did you pay your phone bill? Is you on Wi-Fi? Your neighbor's Wi-Fi.
Oh my God.
I already know. That's the people that don't have a job though. Thank God we're hustling. You know, Thank God we're working, you know, because with the pandemic and everything, you know, everybody who's not really working right now, they're choosing not to, baby. Because it's literally, the cities are opening back up. People are hiring. You know, it's get money time. Like, we've been down for almost 2 years. It's time to get back to the bag, you guys.
There are many different ways to hustle. I wish people would tell people too, it's okay to have a 9 to 5. It's
Baby,
okay.
listen,
It's okay.
It is okay, especially if you're in the beginning of your entrepreneurship. You need a 9 to 5. It's expensive
To live. Like, it's okay. I drive up and down the street. These people hiring, these people hiring, these people hiring. Now these fast food people trying to say, you know, we'll pay y'all $50K a year. If you already got $50K from that, then you work your stuff on the side. You straight. Like, I'm not understanding. People feel like, I'm not gonna do that. You rather be broke?
Right. It's they now if you're like me, like I couldn't go in nobody's job because I'm gonna be a distraction. Not saying that I won't, because I will, but I've had it to where people was like, well, you know, you did an interview and 10 people have already walked in the room and they know who you are. So it's
but
like
you was just meant to be, you know what I'm saying? You was meant to be
so that's why I just wanted to clarify for some, because there are people that just can't get a job. They just can't, because they'll be more of a distraction. Like Juicy, me, we won't be able to. But any other person that's out there in entrepreneurship and you're beginning or you're in the middle, even if you're at the end, baby, there is nothing wrong with having 9 to 5. To be honest, I respect you more because you're not gonna allow yourself to sink while you're doing your thing.
Like that.
Yeah, you are a hustler. You are a grinder. The gun don't stop shooting until the bullets run out.
Get your beautifully crafted bags at nightandDayMarket.com. Make sure you sign up to the website's email to get their latest discounts. The link is in the description box below. Hey ladies, summer's here. You ready to step out in style? Well, head over to nightanddaynetmarket.com. They got an array of t-shirts, bags, earrings, sneakers, and much, much more. Oh, don't forget to sign up to their email list on their website to get those discounts. So y'all better head over there and get yourself some at nightanddaynetmarket.com. The link is in the description box below.
Storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.